Hey guys, welcome everybody. This is Jeff. I'm doing daily Vineyard Chats Monday through Friday with special people around the world who are able to get out in their vineyards, and so we can virtually take a wine tour when we're cooped up in our homes. I'm lucky enough to be out in Connecticut with some friends, so I have some sunshine. And just below me, this is Marta from Mas in Priorat. But Marta, can you tell us your full name, I think, and what you do at the winery and your history with the winery, and then a history of Mas.
Hi, Jeff. Nice to see you again. I'm very happy to be here sharing this moment with so many people and friends in the US. My name is Marta Rovira. Rovira is R-O-V-I-R-A.
It's pinned right down there. There you go.
Yeah. And actually, I am the youngest of 4 sisters.
Ah.
I don't know if you can see the picture.
Yeah.
I am the youngest one, but 40 years later. So we are a family winery that we originally come from another wine area, and we overtook this historical state 22 years ago in 1998. These days, I'm spending the Corona time together with the team, but my boyfriend, he's in Belgium. This is Olivier. I brought also a picture from him. We like very much hiking, so grote kus for Olivier, yeah. And my family were asking us to continue the project. So I was living in Germany in 2000, and finally I decided to come back to join the family tradition. And after 3 years of working here, they asked me to overtake. So since 2008, I am in charge of this very beautiful state, Mas. Yeah.
And what was your experience with wine before? Did you go to enological school, or what was your job before that?
Actually, we have been working as children in the winery in the other wine area. So I grew up within white grapes. So this is why probably we produce white grapes here as well. And actually, my parents asked us to study what we want. So in terms of a study, I did study mechanical engineering.
Ah, okay.
But during my experience in Germany, I got in contact with the organic wines, with Demeter, with Rudolf Steiner, and we have had this influence from the biodynamics over there.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I was helping the family in the European tastings. So finally, with the education I brought from home and the experience in the family winery, I decided to leave Germany and go back to the roots. So here we are.
So can you?
I don't know if the connection is good, because I see like a circle in your face.
Yeah. Oh.
Is the connection good?
It's very good on my end. Does everybody give me a thumbs up in the comments if you guys can hear? I think we can hear. Everybody's fine. Yeah. Is that okay for you?
I can hear you quite well right now.
Okay, good. But you can't see me.
Yes, I can see you.
Oh,
as
good.
well.
So we're good. Everybody is saying that it's fine. So can you give an overview of what biodynamic winemaking is and what it meant to come back home and make the estate in biodynamic?
Biodynamic, it's a method to work on the life of the earth. It's about a method. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay. Biodynamic is a method that teaches us how to reawake the life of our soils. So if you see here, look.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
This is natural. We haven't brought the seeds here, yeah? So this is what is naturally growing, and biodynamics allows us to reawake the life of our soils. So this means if we have more life in the soil, it will be more complex wines, more aromatic, deeper roots, and so more complexity in the taste and in the smell.
And then when diversity, or when hard times come, whether it's climate or fog or frost or whatever it means, just like a person, a stronger immune system, you're going to handle the adversity better.
Sorry, the connection was not so good right now.
So I was
can you repeat,
saying,
please?
Yeah, of course. It's kind of like you're strengthening the immune system so that when difficult things like a frost or a climate change comes, that the vineyard is stronger to withstand the adversity.
Well, on one hand, it can be stronger because if it has deeper roots and more roots density, this is important. But of course, if it's too cold, for example, there are special treatments to bring some natural heat to the plants. Okay. So you can react in both sides, yeah? But everything with herbal teas, you have been talking about that this week, or these previous days with a French producer. So teas, you say, the Americans? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Can you speak? I just put a map up of Priorat. I think most wine people know, but some people are not as experienced, and I'm showing what Priorat is like. It's very close to Barcelona, right?
It's very close to beautiful Barcelona. Yes, we are 1.5 hour drive at normal speed, and you drive the coast along, and then you turn to the right, and you go to the inside, to the west. No.
Yeah.
So it's quite close, but the area is isolated. It's surrounded by mountains.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
And
actually, in United States. Sorry.
Go ahead.
That I wanted to mention that Priorat, it's quite well known for climbing.
Really?
In United States, you have Yosemite as one of the most famous climbing areas. But in fact, Priorat, we have around Siurana. It's one of the world-known climbing areas. So if any people, you have climbers in your group, come to Priorat for climbing and after for a glass of red wine.
Well, the reason I mentioned Barcelona is because you can fly direct from New York to Barcelona and then rent a car and spend a couple of days in the vineyards. It's a very easy wine trip.
That's it. For a weekend, you can come over.
So can you tell, as a region, how Priorat and Garnacha from Priorat is different from like Grenache from the Rhone, and how the terroir is different from, say, like Rioja or something? What makes Priorat unique as a region?
Priorat, it's a very small region. First of all, no, it's isolated by mountains, and you are 25 kilometers. That is surrounded by mountains, but close to the Mediterranean. So it's a kind of continental weather close to the Mediterranean. But
and
Grenache has a different.
How is Priorat different from Montsant?
Hello.
How is Priorat different from Montsant?
Sorry, the connection is not so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. How is Priorat different from Montsant?
Sorry, I cannot listen. So
I will just go back and continue talking about Priorat and Grenache. Yes.
Okay, just to show you, this is the soil. It's thick slate, Licorella, our terroir, and this is the main difference to the Rhone Valley. They have like the other type of stones, which are a little bit rounder, and here are heavy slate. Yeah. So cool. They are a little bit further up, and we are a little bit further down. So here our Grenache has a little bit this aromatic of fennel and rosemary and the Mediterranean herbs that gives this personality. Yeah. Sorry.
Very cool.
Can you hear me?
That's okay. I can hear you perfectly. Yeah. Can you hear me okay? That okay.
Yes, now it's perfect.
So how is Priorat different from Monsanto?
Yes, Priorat, it's a historical region that has been defined almost 1,000 years ago.
Oh.
And in the center of the region, it's Priorat, and the surrounding, like a fried egg, like the white part would be the Monsanto. So the main difference is first the soils. In Priorat, we have mainly slate. Although you have some corners in Monsanto that you also have slate, but also a difference is the yield. In Priorat, we have, in general, lower yields than in Monsanto, okay, which is the surrounding area. So it has more history. It has been defined by the monks, so it should be a reason.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So how big is the estate, and what grapes do you grow there?
Yes, this estate, it's one of the historical estates with in Priorat. I can show you here behind, it's the Belmont Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is one of the main part of the forest, and the state has 120 hectares.
Wow, okay.
But the half of the state is forest. Okay. And actually, we decided to stay here for this Instagram live to show you this vineyard here, because you know the wine coming from there. It's Coma Blanca plot.
Ah, beautiful. Okay, yeah, I love that wine.
It's close to the forest. It's almost north orientation and surrounded between forest and olive trees.
Wow. So
and I think we have someone who wants to say hello as well.
No way.
Hi, Marta. Wait for a second.
Marta, if you...
This is our brand ambassador. Hi, Marta. Magena.
That's amazing.
Look, stop. Hi, Luis. Here we just have Clara coming back from her work today. For us, it's already almost 4:30 in the afternoon, so the day is over, and especially for Clara. So now we were going to give her a little wash and put her in her house.
That is amazing.
So bye-bye, Clara.
That is
actually
wonderful.
It was my birthday present some years ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is incredible. Wow, I love that. Thank you so much for arranging that.
No, she's at home. She lives in a small house close to the main house, so she's not far away. But we live in separate houses until the moment. Yeah.
Okay. That's a hard act to follow. That's amazing. So tell me about the rest of the grapes that you grow and the wines that you offer.
Yes, we are here in love with Grenache. Grenache, we consider the grape that bring us more elegance. And Carignan is a very interesting variety as well in Priorat, but it's more rustica, no? As a variety. When it ages, it becomes elegant as well. But Priorat is mainly red wines, but we are in love with white grapes. So
Yeah.
white Grenache and Macabeo are wonderful grape source. Actually, Macabeo can express very well the terroir. And it's a very humble variety that pretends not to be on the top. It's a variety that likes to be behind and show you where she's living.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very interesting grape to express terroir.
And-
Always if you have low yields, of course.
And people will think they don't know Macabeo, but there's Macabeo in Cava, right?
There's also Macabeo in Cava.
Yeah.
Actually, my parents come from Penedès, and there is a Macabeo vineyard that has my name. It's Marta's Vineyard. And it's a vineyard that is Macabeo as well.
And then just those grapes, that's everything. The Grenache, the Carignan, the Macabeo, and the white Grenache?
Sorry again?
The grapes, it's the 4 grapes that you mentioned. And then which wines do you make from them?
We have let's say the Viña Clasificada, or the similar to Grand Cru here in Priorat, is Coma Blanca. This is this wine. We brought a bottle. This is Macabeo and Garnacha Blanca. This is this one, and I'm sitting just in front of that vineyard. Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's only 2,000 bottles production, so very limited production.
That's the one I always have on my list, but it's a new bottle shape?
This is the new bottle shape, but actually it's the old bottle shape. It was the original bottle of the state, from the 1940. We just did a re-edition of the original label.
Okay, so that wine is always on my list, everybody. You come see me as soon as this is over. I love that wine.
Oh, sorry. The connection is again not so good. I'm sorry for that.
No, don't worry. It's okay. I said that wine is always on my list, and people can come see me when this is over and have a taste.
Maybe if I move towards the house, it's better, the connection. Let's see. This is what happens with countryside and internet connection.
Exactly, exactly. That's the hard part about this, but you're doing great. It's very good so far. Is that better for you?
I think so.
Okay, good. Okay. So after the Coma Blanca,
we have our Premier Cru level, which is Coma Alta. It's 100% white Grenache coming from calcare soils. Actually, our 3 whites come from non-slate vineyards. So Priorat, the region, it's known for the terroir slate, but our 3 whites come from little hidden corners of the state where you have other soils. So it's very interesting to have a calcare Grenache, which is more vertical wine and has a potential of aging as well. And then the third wine, it's our Village White. This is white Grenache planted on Buntsandstein, which is a similar soil that you find the Rieslings from Pfalz. And this has a vibrant touch in your tone, like a guitar that it's vibrating. And this is the Bellmunt White that comes from the Bellmunt Valley as well. And this is our Village wine that has the name of the village Bellmunt. Then in reds, we have the 3 levels as well. We are historical style, and we have a traditional classical classification. No? We have on the top Clos Fonta, which has the name of the state. Masdengill name is Masdengill or Masden Fonta, because it used to have a fountain just close to the house. And it's mainly Grenache and Carignan. Depending on the year, it's varying, no, the percentage, of course. Then we have Coma Bella, which comes from La Coma Valley. La Coma, it means little valley. And this valley, it's oriented to the east. It's facing the Mediterranean. So those vineyards are mainly influenced by the Mediterranean breeze. So maybe a little bit salty wines. And on the soil, they have red slate. So it makes wines a little bit rounder. And then the last wine, it was my baby. It was the first wine that the family allowed me to produce. It was coming from the young vineyards. It's the Bellmunt Red. And Bellmunt Red, it comes from just 2 parts of the state. And actually on the soil, it has very heavy gray slate. So this makes wines a little bit more fluid, more aerial, that they flow in your palate and go quickly to the end, no?
Yep.
See.
Beth had sent me a couple of questions to ask you about the, your estate has been tended since pre-phylloxera?
The estate itself was founded in 1860 by Mr. Gil, Francisco Gil, and was supposed to be one of the first winemakers here in Spain. Actually, he died, and the whole state was overtaken by another family, which is Masia Barril, the Barril family. So you can see their names here on the facade. Maybe it's too far away, but it was 1931, before the Spanish Civil War. So actually, this estate, it's bottling wines since 1867. These are the first labels we have seen.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we couldn't have drunk these wines, but we have seen the labels in the Museum of Reus. Actually, Reus is where Gaudí, the famous architect, was born. Yeah.
Your white wines, not your whites you can call Priorat, but that's not typical.
Coma Blanca was one of the first Priorat whites 20 years ago. At that moment, everyone was producing or more focused on the reds, but Priorat in the past, before the boom of the 80s, was producing sweet wines out of white wines for the church.
Oh.
Like Châteauneuf-du-Pape and Vicent, no?
Yeah.
Like this. So actually, we decided to do the whites, but dry, not with residual sugar. Yeah.
And what else? I always ask people that it's sometimes overwhelming to know all the wineries in a region. What makes Mas d'Angil different from other estates in Priorat?
Maybe the word you just last mentioned is that it is a state. There is as a state where all the piece of land is together around the house. It is a state. And this means the vineyards, the olive trees, the forest, the almonds, it's everything surrounding us.
And what does that biodiversity do, having the mountains and having the olive trees? How does that impact the wine?
This is a very important question. We consider Mas d'Angil as a unity. If you work on biodynamics in a place like here, where you have as a border 2 mountains, a river, and the road, the style of agriculture that you can be doing, it makes sense because you are naturally isolated from the rest. Of course, we have a couple of neighbors close to us, but we understand that our way of working, it's for the whole unit. It's not about a vineyard. This is something that I don't understand in some wine regions where you have the plots and this is organic and this not, and this again it's biodynamic. So here you can practice the agriculture you want, and then it makes more sense to work on biodynamics because we are naturally isolated. So the forests are our lungs. They bring us freshness. Yeah. For example, we had a forest between 2 vineyards over there. So if your vineyard is close to the forest and the forest is clean, the air will be flowing lower through the forest. So it's a kind of aerating system or cooling system for your vineyards. This is why you have to take into account everything in the context, and also the biodiversity you have surrounding the vineyards, the plants, the animals. Everything brings complexity and balance.
I see. Okay. And then this is again a very simple question, but if your wine was not biodynamic, would it taste different? Does biodynamic have an impact on the taste of the wine?
Definitively. Because when you work on biodynamic, you are working with one of the treatments that you do. It's the Maria Tun and the 500. And what we are promoting is to develop the density of the roots.
Okay.
This means you are increasing the number of fingers you have inside the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So as more roots you have, you can get more taste into your wines.
I see. Okay. Wow. Okay, cool.
So actually we have now 12 years of experience of biodynamics here. Of course, the first 5 years, it's a period that things are changing and it's evolution. But what is more important, it's after 10 years, you can definitely start smelling and tasting new things that is very motivating.
That's exciting, and it, being in the place, seeing the evolution must be very exciting for you.
Yes, because it's a hard work. It's not something that it happened when you push a button, like when you touch your handy, your cell phone.
Yeah.
So it's a question that you have seen other projects, you have the experience of other wines, so you have to decide to start, but then you have to wait 10 years, no? And nowadays people, especially young people, have no passions.
Yes.
So it's very important with agriculture to have on one side passions and also to be able to manage that, no?
Yeah.
Because of course it's resources as well. Yeah.
What is a food that you eat in the region with your red and with your white?
This is a good question. The local cuisine here in Priorat, it's a little bit limited because the region has been isolated during many years. So the roads to access here were very difficult, no? So actually there is a typical dish called truita amsuk.
Okay.
That this is a bone omelette with a sauce of paprika.
Okay.
Let's say Priorat, it's more the kitchen of the mountain, like quite strong food. Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
And on the other hand, of course, you have wild porks, that it's like hard meat. And I will not say I'm vegetarian, but I don't eat that much meat. But okay, after a while, you can eat this, and it's like stuffed meat, no? That you have cooked with the sauce, and then with Priorat wine, of course. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the white as well, the same thing, or is there different food for the white?
Yeah, for the white, fortunately, we have other ingredients, which is codfish.
Oh, yeah.
Codfish, it's very introduced in the Catalan kitchen. And you receive it with salt, so it's a conservation method. So the good codfish, you have to have it during 3 days in water in your fridge, and then the salt goes out, and then the 4th day you can cook it, no?
Yeah, that must
so
be
the
amazing.
codfish and our whites, I like it very much. This salty touch with the note from the minerality of the wines, it makes a very interesting combination.
That's beautiful. And I was lucky enough to have Eva for my friend who let me taste your sweet red wine, which is very unusual. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, there we have a surprise. It's going to be a very limited of a white, but this will come. Yeah.
Okay.
A white sweet wine.
Oh, a white sweet wine.
So Nus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it's still a surprise.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay, don't tell anyone.
So Nus is our sweet wine. It's a traditional wine that used to be done here, Grenache. And actually we can say that I personally don't like that much sweet wines. I like sweet wines when they have acidity, like the ones produced in the center of Europe. So what we have tried was to do our sweet wine, but not so sweet and with acidity. So we pick the grapes in August when the grapes are green, but still having the acidity high.
Mm-hmm.
And then we left them dry in straw beds in the shadow,
Mm-hmm.
not in the sun. We have enough sun, we need shadow. And then something happened and appears nose. So it's our sweet wine pretending to be a little bit more acid.
It's beautiful. I had it. I had a sweet wine party last Halloween, and everybody that tasted it loved it, loved it, loved it. It was very, very good.
Oh, I'm very happy to hear that.
So how are things different under the quarantine for you over there?
Well, first of all, I told you, my partner, Olivier, he's for me, it's the best sommelier of the world. It's the one I choose to share my life with him. So I sent him a big kiss because I think he's showing this film. So.
Oh, nice.
And
oh, that's sweet.
So I'm spending the time here, but the team is there, and my family is also not living so far away. So actually here things have not changed, except that we have to learn what does it mean Instagram Live or Zoom. These are new tools that we didn't know before.
Exactly.
And that's it. But now start the moment with more work on the vineyard. So we are more concentrated on the fields, and actually on somehow not to have to travel. It's a present for us as winemakers.
But all the workers in the field are able to come to work, and they're spread out enough that it's okay to work like that?
Yes, let's say we have local people that lives here in the neighbor areas, but we have a temporary group of people that collaborate with us since many years in our family. They come from Andalusia.
Okay.
So when everything started, we decided to sorry, the wind, to bring them to the back home, because they were getting a little bit nervous. But they are just coming back next Monday. They are allowed to come because agriculture in Spain, it's allowed to keep on working.
Good.
So everything it's permitted. Yeah.
Good. Someone asked previously the grape in the noose. That's a Grenache, right? The sweet.
It's mainly Grenache, but the acidic touch comes from white grapes.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. That's smart. Okay. Well, we're right at a half an hour. I don't want to make this too long, and I don't want to keep you from work, but this has been fantastic. You're such a delight to speak to. Ever since I met you, I love your wines, but there's something about when you like the person, you like their wine, and when you like the wine, you like the person that makes it. So you're a great example of that. Do you want to tell anybody or tell people any last closing words?
Yes, since I want to say, first of all, thank you, Jeff, for giving us this opportunity. And before leaving this communication, since I know some New York friends are watching this, if you allow me just very quickly,
yes, by all means,
to send a big hug to the Regal team, Charlie, Eva, Beth, Super Beth, and Jahin. Also, Juliette Pop, old friend from New York. Also, Lorena from Astor, big hug. I hope you are very busy. And probably I forget some people, David, Giuliano, other people. So please take care, stay at home. And if everyone does the right thing, we will see each other very soon. So a big hug to all of you.
Thank you so much. This has been just a delight. You take care of yourself and keep those good wines coming, and we'll see you sooner rather than later.
And just the last word, a big kiss for Mona and Rosie.
Awesome.
also.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Take care and thank you. Bye bye.